Motion to approve the minutes of last month.
So moved.
I got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Before we get started, I know I wish a lot of the other department heads were here. This being our last meeting and my last meeting as chairman, I want to thank all the department heads and all the employees in public safety. And it's been great working with you all, and I personally want to thank y'all for the job y'all have done for the county and the citizens, and also this committee as well for electing me the chairman in the last 4 years. So thank y'all. We'll move on. Ambulance service report.
Happy birthday, Commissioner Farley.
Thank you, Randy.
Right.
Is that today?
Yeah,
Yes.
he is. He's
Oh, I've got it in red letters.
Yep.
All right.
69 years old.
Now 57. I'm not
Looks like
69.
a day over 60. Okay. Ambulance report. Total number of calls, 2,261. Of course, this is the first month of the year, so I've got some numbers that are just brand new. Total billed, 1,391,190. We have 80% collection rate so far, so
That's great.
pretty good. If we can keep it, look at the projection on the yearly collections. If we can keep it there, that'd be great. Nothing really outstanding to report as far as the unit mileages, and everything is pretty expected. Same thing goes with the number of units that responded to out-of-zone calls, and of course we have that in a matrix later on. Any questions there? I'll move on. Okay. Next, our in-service training that we've been doing. We've got quite a bit more scheduled also. We've got some special events that we've taken care of, and also the SORT has done some special training and also answered a few calls too, and those are on there. Response time report. We're up a little bit. I think last month was 7.8. We're at 8.0 now. And it kind of gives you a breakdown of which one of the stations that we're looking at as far as our response times. And again, you won't have a yearly response time because it's the first month. Same thing goes with the public safety report here. In the district calls, this is year to date, but it's also the first month, so you won't have a second page on that. Okay. The next is our matrix as far as which units are running which calls, and again, we still see the same type of thing covering the MTSU zone. Manchester unit is covering MTSU quite a bit, but nothing out of the ordinary from what we haven't seen for the last 4 or 5 months. The next few pages are thank you letters and commendations. We had 3 people that were on the Public Servant of the Week. Casey Chapman, Cody Smith, and Dwight Stone, one of our assistant directors. And then after that, we have the vacation denials for July. Again, nothing unexpected. Several people on here several times. And again, these are the people that are requesting vacations 2 days before, the night after, or whatever. And then the last page is FMLA sick hours, vacation hours, and granted vacation hours.
Any questions on the report? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the report, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. I think you got a budget amendment.
I do. I have 2 actually. The first budget amendment I think you have on your iPads there, and it basically Lisa Nolan went in and found that we weren't paying the director enough money, and so I think he got like a $300 a year raise. It's at 0.5% or something like that, and so he got that raise, and so we're asking to take it out of paraprofessionals and put it into his payroll.
Okay, so that's one. Then there's this other one.
And there is another one, and I've actually got a letter to go along with that, so I'll pass those out to you.
Are we taking both of them
I gotta
together?
take out both of them together.
Okay, and then here is the budget request itself. And again, it didn't make it to your iPads.
Basically, what this is $125,000
Yes, sir.
to,
This was,
put
I
in.
think this one's on there.
It's on there.
is it? Oh, good.
This is the
Excellent.
one it is, the other one.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
from 911.
yeah, this was, we petitioned the 911 board for a grant concerning our CAD system. And this has to do, Lisa actually made this particular request. We have to put the money in so that we can distribute it out. And they actually pay by receipt. 911 actually pays by receipt. So we've got to have somewhere for the money to come from.
You heard the request, is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Discussion? Hearing or seeing none, call the roll.
This is for both of them, right?
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Tiffany Phillips. Yes. Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Stevens.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Farley.
Yes. That it?
That's it. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
One-
Randy.
Just one quick one that I was looking at earlier. The new ambulances.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the ones that we just approved are not here yet, right?
Right.
And what I'm looking at when I see 13,000 miles on.
You're looking at the
70
ones from last year. Yes, sir.
All right.
Now, the one that, number 7 there, is the one that's consistently putting on 6,000, 7,000 miles a month, and that actually is our transport unit that goes to Nashville every.
What are y'all replacing, the 61?
I don't
It's
really
got
know.
230,000 on there.
I'm sure we are, yes. I'm
And
sure we
there's-
are.
You've
On a
got,
couple of 190 some.
Yeah, there are,
yeah.
But
right.
they have-
And we're still using those, of course, as backups, but in anything over 200,000 miles, basically, we're having to re-inspect every 6 months. Or 30,000 miles, which comes first.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Next is fire and rescue.
The total number of calls year-to-date for our department is 745 calls. We have a total of 78 calls from last Friday to the last public safety meeting. MVAs were actually down this last month. We usually run about 44, 45. We had 25 MVA calls. Average response time was 10 minutes. Then the next sheet is the training record and total runs. We got year-to-date, we've got 1,755 calls so far year-to-date, and I think last year was a little over 2,100 calls, so we're tracking to pass that this year, countywide. And then the last sheet is just the report that we send to the codes departments for structures that's been damaged by fire instances. And also in front of you, I forgot to put this in my report to be scanned, but this is the third year in a row we've won the training certificate from the Tennessee Fire Academy. We came in second this year, right behind Nashville. So it shows that we're just putting a lot of hours in training and sending people to training and increasing our capabilities.
Well, the department ought to be congratulated, especially coming in second behind Nashville. That's tremendous.
That's what they told me. So
And this is total hours, this isn't per fireman, you know, a percentage per fireman of
no,
hours.
this is total,
Total hours.
for the county. Yeah. That's my report, and I got a budget amendment.
Okay. Any questions on the report?
Where's Breckenridge in the county?
That's a good question. The only Breckenridge I know of runs off of South Springs Road,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure. And
It's the Amberville district.
yeah, I believe it is.
I've never heard of it, that's why. I
It's
just-
by Stewartsboro School.
That's probably it, because when I seen that, I thought of the one off South Springs. but it's in the envelope, so I'd say you're probably correct, Commissioner.
Somewhere in there, okay.
Anybody else? If there's no questions, we'll entertain a motion on the report.
So moved.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
When we received the recruitment and retention coordinator grant, the guy who wrote the grant added on $32,000, $8,000 a year for disability insurance for our firefighters. Well, the county was already covering that expense for our firefighters, so Ms. Elam requested to amend that to buy computers and put Wi-Fi in 2 of our other stations. And we got down to where we was trying to figure out what else we could use the money on. So we're putting $24,000 into 709 for data processing equipment, which would be for Wi-Fi systems and desktop computers. And then we're putting $7,978 in 451 for uniforms. They said since we had a rookie class fixed to graduate, that we could use that money to provide the uniforms for the recruits. So it pretty much got down to that was about the only thing we could utilize. Because everything we requested, they kept turning it down.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta follow the guidelines on that federal money or they
Yeah.
won't let you.
and so what I'll probably do, that's going to increase our uniform budget. So down the road, if we have a shortfall on something else, I can pull some money out of that the county already had budgeted for that and use it to meet that shortfall.
All right, is there any questions? Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, do we have a second?
Second.
And a second. Discussion? Call roll.
Commissioner Jeff Phillips.
Aye.
Commissioner Tiffany Phillips. Yes. Commissioner Schaefer.
Yes.
Commissioner Stevens.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Farley.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
Can I
Yep.
get your report?
Yeah.
EMA, how you doing?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a copy of the report in front of you. You see the list of meetings and training we attended for preparedness. Down below that, just want to let you know what we're working on. Particular attention to the tower project update. We've, and some of the stuff gets more technical than I have the ability to explain, so please forgive me if I can't. But there's the last 3 microwave path design visits done by the professionals. Basically, that's just shooting the microwave path from one tower to the other. It sounds a lot simpler than what it is. We're also working a lease for Bradyville. Remember, we're going to try to open up 5 towers initially and then 3 towers later. Bradyville is one of those later towers. So we're working a lease on that right now. Dish removal at Hudson site is at 80%. The new building is awaiting removal of the old one at this point. We got purchase orders out for the antenna installs at Smyrna, Milton, and Lynch Hill. Remember, they're towers. We're just talking about climbing the tower and putting the antenna on it. So it's not. It's a big deal to the guy climbing the tower, but it's not a long pole in the tent. Let's put it that way. You just have to have good weather to do that. So, and also just a reminder for y'all that September is National Preparedness Month. It's a job I would not want to do, to be honest with you. I've jumped out of airplanes until I don't want to do that. But as far as response, we've had 5 responses. There were 3 spills, of which 2 were diesel, and 1 was actual milk. You know, the one over at the in front of Heritage Farms that Mercersburg Fire responded to. They asked us to come out. We also had 1 gas leak we responded to, and just last week the storm damage from the high winds. Subject to your questions, that concludes my report.
Any questions on the report? Hearing or seeing none, I'll entertain a motion on the report.
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Why would you ever jump out of a perfectly good aircraft?
Because it was fun, I was young, and I was dumb. I would like to say in closing that I really appreciate the 3 commissioners that are moving on to bigger and better things. I appreciate y'all making my first year easy. I know y'all could have made it a lot tougher than you were, and it's been a pleasure working with you.
Well, same here. All right, next in the, let's see here. OSHA report. Had to get back to where I was at.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Reporting for the month of July, county had a total of 12 injuries requiring medical attention for the county employees. As you see there, the breakout for the different types, classification of the injuries. That brings the total for the year to date to 118. Of those, 65 days are recordable under the OSHA standard. 43 of them had restricted days, 13 were lost days, and 9 were all others. Of those 12 claims, total incurred dollars for those were at this time $15,320. As you look at the graph, you'll see that where we are this year as compared to the 2 previous years. And we're running high as far as the claims are concerned still, but the dollars are still way down to where they were the 2 previous years, but we are high on the occurrences. Of those 12 claims, 3 of them were with the Board of Education. Even though the Board of Education was out for the summer, they still had custodians and people working at the schools, and we had 3 injuries as they were preparing the school for the reopening for this year. The dollars incurred for those were $2,500. The remaining 9 claims were in the county general, and the dollars incurred for those were $12,820. And then the next page of that, you'll see where the sheriff department had 7 of those claims, and the ambulance department had 2, making up that 9. And the last page of the report is just the graph of the incurred dollars and showing where you are this year as compared to the previous years.
Any questions on his report? If there's no questions, entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Is that it?
Yes, it is. I have nothing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Correctional Work Center report.
How y'all doing?
All right, you doing all right?
First page covers the minutes from the last board meeting on August 4th. Just went over the expenditures, and there's really nothing discussed because the new budget had just kicked in. Talk about the transfers. We had 194 inmates requested to medical, and 112 were accepted. So lately our census has been going up because of that fact, so it's been working out good. And we talked about a program with New Vision Church that was on Saturday, August 9th, and a monthly prayer breakfast. And that was pretty much it for the board meeting. The next one is the state litter pickup for July, and we collected a total of $2,930.92 for the month of July. Next report is the yearly activity report. Reflects July average count was 150. See the felon and misdemeanor days. Working crews average was 68 going out for that month. And GED class was pretty much in their summer vacation, but everything else was the norm for that month. Next report is the work release program. Month of July, we had 19 inmates in the program. We had 2 hired with Presco Tech, 1 with Swanson, and 1 with Middlemax. So the program is still going great, and those are the room and board collected, transport fees, and child support and so on for that month. And the last page is the monthly worker report, which reflects the savings from using the inmate labor, and the total for July was $148,672. That's my report.
Any questions on his report?
Yeah, I got one on your, when I get back here, it's on your meeting, and it said staff had submitted 194 names for medical clearance.
Yes.
And 112 were granted.
Right.
Okay. And, okay, so the ones that weren't granted, what happens to them?
They're pending, because they could have some kind of medical issue.
It's still
Right.
ongoing.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So they might clear the next day, a week later, so.
Okay, but that has nothing to do then with the number of inmates increasing each month? Because that was the next statement on it.
Right, well, if we get that many cleared for that particular time frame, it does, at some point it does reflect on that. But we're just saying, for that many and to get that many cleared, because a lot of times we're getting, less percentile because of medical issues, so. Obviously,
okay.
That's the ones, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the ones that are clearing from the
sheriff's
SO
one, right.
coming to you all.
Okay,
Right.
I got you. Okay. Mhm.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve it report.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Juvenile detention report. How are you doing?
Good evening. Happy birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey. All right. So, we have a couple reports in front of you that you're used to seeing. I will happily answer any questions. I did add some statistics from our STD program. I don't always do that, but I just thought y'all might like to see how that's going. And I'll happily answer any questions that you may have.
Is that program, is it actually gotten worse, better?
It's charting about the same.
Because in detention area, that could be,
Right. Well, these are. I'm sure you remember that it's the state health department is doing this program for us. It doesn't cost the county
Right.
anything. The kids. These are kids who are mostly slipping through the cracks with their personal doctors
Right.
or their own health care. So we're able. These kids are getting treated when they come back
where
positive,
they wouldn't have.
where they wouldn't have before. A lot of the STDs that they are testing positive for don't always have. They're asymptomatic, so we're
Yeah.
catching kids that would not normally have been caught.
Right.
So we're pleased.
Is every kid tested for that?
No, only if they are 14 and older, and if they choose to give a sample, it's voluntary.
So the ones that don't give a sample, because some of them are
They
still got it and still spreading?
Potentially. My employees do a very good job of explaining that this isn't something that, mom and dad find out about. We just want to see if you have issues, and if you do, get you treated. So the information doesn't go to parents. That's why it's 14 and older, because the state health department considers 14-year-olds at the age of consent. And once we explain it, this isn't a sneaky drug test. This is just, if you have an issue that needs to be addressed, we want to take care of it. The health department comes to us. They don't have to go anywhere. We can usually get the kids to provide that urine sample. So
You said the state law says 14-year-old has the age of consent for.
for this, for
Okay.
medical.
And how often do the U.S. Marshals pay? Every
Uh,
quarter or something?
No, they pay monthly, just like
Okay.
everyone else.
Any other questions? If there's no other questions, entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Got a motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Thanks.
The Paul's report, he called me and explained he wasn't gonna be here tonight, and he talked about the, I think he called, I had him call some of the
Yeah.
commissioners on the PETS grant, that especially that we're going to budget. So, here's this for information purposes for you only. That grant money is just basically just to go through money, no county match, best I can remember. Isn't it, Mayor?
That's what it is, and it's just the money that they would use to have a little adoption
Yeah.
effort.
I think it was somebody in Smyrna, the Smyrna area down there, kind of headed this thing up and was able to get some money to,
They had it last year,
yeah.
so, and it
Right.
helped. It get, it
Does it
say
require
some
action on their part?
euthanizing.
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
want you to recommend this, there won't be a budget committee for this to go forward, we're gonna take it straight on to the commission.
Full
meeting.
commission,
So
okay.
they can go ahead and get this approved, so they can use the money.
I move that we approve their request.
All right.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
Don't, we don't need to.
And if you want to just
Yes,
read over the
money.
report and everything,
I've glanced at them, they look normal, and I move to approve those
Okay.
reports.
It's only the
got a
first
motion,
month.
is there a second to the motion?
I'll second it.
And a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Next is the sheriff's department.
Is there nothing from drug court? Do we even have a report? Because we didn't have anything last month from there either, did we?
From the garden.
Well, one, I didn't know it was your birthday till a little while ago, but fresh watermelon from the garden, so I wanted
All
to
right.
give each and every one of y'all a sample, so
Thank you.
please pass it around. We got napkins and we got
We might
cups if
I'll
you
wait
need,
after we get through.
we got cups if you need to spit the seeds. Well, we're harvested this morning.
You want to do the budget amendment first?
Please. Okay. Our first amendment that we're proposing tonight is, basically, it's just to clean up, it's all of our charities that we have. And it's a rollover from last year. We always wait till we get done with the end of the budget year, and then we balance them up. I don't ask for the full amount, so this is what we're doing. It's just kind of balancing out the accounts from leftover from last year. So, decrease in unassigned to 18,281, and then we're going to put it into our other funds. One of them to note is the 2367 for in-service training. That's the leftover money from dispatch that they get year to year, and that's something that we're not allowed to. We have to give them that money every year.
Is that the one for training from E911?
Yes. Yeah. Number two is there's been a request. They're remodeling some of the medical pod, and they need some cabinets. And we did not plan for that this year. There is funds that were turned in from the state, where the state reimburses the county. And so for when inmates go to the hospital, the state reimburses for that. Or actually, Dr. Rudd pays for all of it, and then they reimburse the county back. So we've turned those funds over to you guys. We'd like to pull those funds back out if we could, and put the $9,500 into the repair and maintenance of the building. And then we're going to buy some cabinets with that. The next one is a grant. We received the energy grant from TVA. It's a 50% matching grant. We've already run this through committee we did get approved for it. To apply for the grant.
Uh,
To apply for the grant. So it's been approved, and so it's a 50% matching, and we need to put those funds into our building improvement funds. And those are the three I have for tonight.
Fine.
The thing with the grant is we need the other half. Yeah.
We need to what?
The other half.
What what's it gonna be for?
It's the roof grant. It's the one I said I'd tap dance if we got it. But hopefully you're not gonna hold me to that tonight. But
I see it.
the grant for the roof and for the lights. It's the lighting package, just like what the commission did years ago for all the schools. The sheriff's office was left out of it, and then we need a roof, and so I went after the grant. We got the grant, so half the roof will be paid for, but the other half needs to come out undesignated.
Y'all heard the request, is there a motion? Mayor?
And the motion needs to say that you're accepting these amendments along with, you authorize the execution of the grant, okay? And we'll do that at the same way at the next September 11th meeting. We'll do all of this together, even though this won't funnel on through budget. I mean, we'll explain it through budget, but it won't have a budget committee review.
I move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
Second.
And a second, all right, discussion?
Yeah, let's go back to the money from, that Dr. Rudd's paid for, that now the state's reimbursed us, okay, and that's $125,000?
No.
No, that's 9,500.
Oh,
okay.
It looks really weird.
Yeah,
it looks really weird. I was
Okay, I
thinking the same
see,
thing.
yeah.
He has gotten you a check in the past for that amount. though.
Okay,
I think it was
okay.
only
The
came to about
125,000 is the
115,000.
roof.
Yeah.
It's the roof and the lights.
Okay, all right.
But the cabinets were 9,500.
Yeah, okay.
The grant is also the same grant that the property assessor's office got, the 2 cars.
Mhm.
Same
Okay,
grant.
okay.
Anybody else? We got a motion and a second, call a roll.
Commissioner Jeff Phillips?
Aye.
Commissioner Tiffany Phillips? Yes. Commissioner Schaefer?
Yes.
Commissioner Stevens?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
We're just gonna have to be done anyhow, right?
I have one more thing I just want to inform you guys of that we'll be bringing up next go-round. We did receive, the JAG grant has been awarded again this year. Murfreesboro is working on all that right now. We don't have a contract yet, but that is coming. We did find out, originally we were thinking it was like $25,000, $30,000. It's actually $33,545, so we'll be using that for radios here. So I'll be bringing that one up next month.
And that's the same one Murfreesboro's always been the lead
Yeah,
on and
that's-
all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
And they get 33,000, whatever it is, too?
Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm.
Actually, I think they get just a little more for administrative.
They
don't
administrative.
Yeah.
They'll get $5,000.
Yeah, something like that. All right, you've heard the requests. I guess we need a motion on that, correct? Or no, that's coming.
that's
Yeah, I just wanted to
Okay.
inform you. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's
All
all.
right.
And then other than that, we have our report.
Or just regular report.
And that's 1 month under, right?
Yep.
Use of the budget, so is there anything in there that may stand out?
Oh, yeah, well, actually, there is. That's why maintenance is here. Our water bill. Come on up, Joe. Our water bill has doubled. Not by our choice. On average, for the month of July, let's say we were paying right at $11,500 a month for water. We're now paying right at $23,500. The water company has said that our meter has been messed up for several years. They sent it off to a lab to have it tested. Joe got with them because back in December we realized we had a water leak and our water spiked up and we brought them in. And then that's when, and he can tell you the rest about exactly the timeline of when they pulled our water meter, sent it off for inspection and all that.
Yeah, the first page of this report I give you, I tried to put some documentation together to kind of help explain, in case I got tongue-tied up here, you know, it's a lot to it. The first page is actually what the water and sewer department give me. It shows where they tested our meter. And depending on the water flow, but normal flow, they're saying it was only registering 55% of the water that was coming through the meter. Then it shows where they repaired it and recalibrated it. The first bill under that, our water bill, is the first full month before they repaired the meter, and it was $10,241. Attached to that is 2 pages that shows our daily average inmate count.
Interrupt you just a minute, I apologize, but is the water department the one that picked the people to repair the meter?
Yes, we didn't know anything about it till after it was done. Several months
sound like
passed when our water bill started jumping up.
That sounds like a conflict of interest. They're gonna hire the
They-
person to say the meter's wrong, they won't charge us for more money.
Yeah, and, you know, and I didn't know anything about it until it was brought to my attention that our water bill had jumped up over the past few months. Then we started checking into it. We done several tests in the facility to check for leaks, and everything come back showing that we didn't have any leaks. So then I started working with the water department, and that's when they informed me that on January the 13th, our meter had been tested and showed that it was bad, and they repaired it.
Did we overpay though for water that we didn't use?
No, actually, they're saying we were using twice as amount of water as we were paying for.
I thought that's, we had a great meter.
But each one of these, I included the bill from November of 13, which is the first full month before they repaired it. One of the things I done was put an average daily inmate population to it, because it was a combination of a couple of things. If you'll notice, the last month before they repaired it, our average inmate daily count was 700. And then after that, it drops down. Each report has of 664, and then from there, each month since, our inmate population has climbed dramatically, even up to over 900 the last month this bill was here. So our bill has climbed due to 2 things. One, the water meter being fixed, and 2 is our inmate population every month's increased, sometimes over 100 inmates since it was fixed. So between it registering more water and us having more inmates, it's just constantly climbed up. Now, I did talk to the water department today because I knew it was time for them to read it. They said they read it again last, I think it was 3 days ago, and said it went down $3,000 for the month compared to the last bill you see here for 20. Oh, the last one was of days.
And we got more inmates and a different meter, and it now it's went down again.
Well, it went down 3,000 over the last billing cycle, but the inmate population actually went. If you sit and study this like I have, it almost, there's a couple of months on here you just kind of figure out, it's like they just bill us for, you know, I don't know what their formula is, to be honest, because some months the sewer charge is within a couple of thousand of the water charge, and then there's 1 month on here that the sewer charge is like $4,100 increase, and the water charge was only like $2,100.
I can understand.
So I mean, I don't understand how they, you know, they.
Yeah, I can understand if a meter goes bad, because they go bad. I understand that. But what I can't get in my head right now is if it's our meter, right? Is our meter, or is it the
I would
city?
say it's their meter. It's just like your water meter at your house. It really belongs to the city or the county, or the CUD.
Well, the developer probably paid for the tap.
You pay for the water tap, but the meter's still the utility.
Yeah, the meter's still theirs.
Okay.
So the big shocker to me was the monthly maintenance fee.
Yeah.
They don't come out and do anything, but yet our bill has a monthly maintenance fee.
Yeah, if you look, the last 2 bills included toward the back of that, they changed the way they bill, and we started getting this maintenance and operations fee. The last month that we were billed, it was $2,922. The month before that, it was $1,865.
What caused it to increase?
Because our sewer increased, our sewer usage. They said that it was always added into the sewer charge. You just never seen it on the bills because they didn't break it down. But in the last 2 months, they've started breaking it down, and they have a new bill they send out. And if you'll notice, the last 2 are different than the first 4 or 5.
Is there an appeal process to fill that?
That I don't know.
We're looking into all the options.
Yeah, I've been on the phone with just about everybody over there, you know, trying to make heads or tails of what's going on, because I knew we needed to answer to y'all why the sudden increase, and this is all I can find. You know, this is what they're telling me Like I said, they just mailed me this when I wanted something in writing explaining the meter, you know, and the sudden increase, and that's what they sent me. Them and us, we've done everything we can. We're 99.99% sure we don't have a leak. It's just a combination of inmate growth and this meter getting fixed. It's caused our water to just gradually, I'm hoping we're at the top of the the scale, because we was averaging 900 and something inmates on that one bill.
Yeah.
That was 23,000. Normally that's about the top of our spike, but I mean, we don't know. But
So you're really not needing a motion tonight? You just-
No.
no,
we're
we
just-
just
we're
come
just
to
informing.
explain why we've had
Right.
this sudden
Because
increase the past
eventually-
5 or 6 months.
At
of
some
water.
point, somebody gonna wanna get paid, or it may be appealed to come, I don't know, but at some point, there's gonna be,
But that, and also,
Have an amendment. in
yeah, we're
springtime.
gonna have to have an amendment eventually, because, we didn't budget for this much every month.
We went
Right.
from $11,000 bill to 23,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
double.
Yeah,
We've doubled it. And I can tell you, and if y'all remember when y'all came and visited the jail, which I talked to him today, the annex, when we redid the annex, we put the timers on the showers. We put them on level 2. I told him to finish ordering the rest of the parts for the other showers, so we can go ahead, because that's always, to me, been one of our biggest water uses is the showers, because sometimes you have inmates that try to cook their food in the shower. So we're gonna get on that here pretty soon and try to replace that and help reduce the water there. Some other areas maybe to look at would be the diaphragms and the toilets and stuff like that, but we'll be looking at all that.
Well, we're looking at putting a hot water loop on the jail, the 9-story building, because the way it's plumbed now, water goes from the bottom up to the top. When it fills up, nobody's using it, it just sits there and cools off. And so when the inmates want hot water, they just stand up there and just wear that button out, and they have to flush all that water out of that 6-inch line to get hot water again, which in a month's time is a lot of water. So we're looking at putting a circulator on that, because
Yeah.
we plumbed it for expansion in the future,
14
which,
stories.
going on higher. So there's another line there. We're gonna try to tie them together, put circulator pumps on the hot water heaters, and have the hot water circulate. And I've not got the projections yet on the cost, but it should dramatically reduce our heating of hot water and usage and parts for plumbing, from where they just sit there and constantly, wear them buttons out to get hot water in their cells. And you take 900 inmates doing that every morning when they get up to make their coffee. It's a substantial amount of water and parts.
Do away with coffee.
Yeah.
Well, we have done away with coffee. It's the coffee they bought.
Yeah, it's the
Oh, is
coffee
that
they
right?
buy
Yeah,
off
we
commissary.
don't-
It's instant coffee, so
Yeah.
they want hot water to mix it
Okay.
up with.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But they still get to buy it, and by law, we have to provide them with hot water and cold water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds bad, we've got to spend money to try to make sure that they constantly have hot water, because if we don't, we're going to spend money for them to support right out to get hot water.
Right.
Go over the operations and maintenance fee. To me, that's something you need to find out how it works, how they wind up charging you. Just looking at the 2 months they put it in.
It's
and
a
Well,
substantial
if
amount
they're
of
doing
difference.
it to us, they're doing it to all the other county.
The
Yeah.
way the girl tried to explain it to me was it's the cost of running the sewer plants and stuff and treating the sewage and all that, and says it's always been in the bill. It was just part of your
Well-
sewer charge. Now they just break down the percentages. Is what they tried to explain to me. Can't say I totally understood what she was saying. I somewhat did, but that was all I could get
Well,
out
what
of
I'm
it.
getting at is if I look at May to June, the middle of May to middle of June, it's basically roughly 2,600, what is it, CF?
Yeah,
Cubic
cubic
feet
feet, yes.
that they measured in. Okay, and then I look at the middle of June to the middle of July, and it's about 3,300 to 3,350. But the maintenance and operations fee jumped from 1,865 to 2,922. I mean, there's something in there that doesn't jive to me unless they do it on different amounts that you use
Because
and stuff like this.
It's the same size building every month, and
Yes.
the maintenance and usage fee should be pretty close to the same.
Just give or take a few inmates,
Yeah.
but they're constantly coming in and out. We have grown almost 100 inmates a
Yeah.
month for the past 3 months.
That's-
But what you can do is, we can compute with this data here, exactly what these meters are saying. Per inmate day, how many gallons? I've just quickly looked at this, and it's not accurate, but if the table, the last one looks like it's 80 gallons per day per inmate.
That's a heck of a lot.
I can't, of course, you gotta add all.
My
the other
wife
things
doesn't
you
even
do
take
with-
showers
Oh, yeah,
that
you
long.
got the showers
Kitchen
and-
and laundry and all that too,
Yeah,
of course.
kitchen,
Yeah.
laundry.
But there's just no way.
But inmates have a whole different mentality than most of us. I mean, they want to use the toilet for their trash can and everything, you know. Where you would flush the commode one time, you can be up on the inmate level and they'll flush it 3 or 4 times. I don't know what that does for them, but they will do it. Just, you know, they.
Well, and also, you know, when it comes to showers, you know, we just pop the doors and then they kind of go as they can go. And as soon as they get done, then another one goes. There's no time limit.
Yeah.
We don't have the staffing to go down there and go, hey, your 3 minutes is up, get
Yeah.
gone. It's just kind of like you buzz a door and you get back to doing what you're
Yeah.
doing. So,
Put timers on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's
what we're in
why,
the
that's why we're
process
putting the
of doing.
timers. Now, they've got to still hit the button,
Yeah.
but there'll be a certain point, everybody I've ever talked to, they're like, yeah, you know, they just walk out of there.
And you can even put a timer on it so that it's got to be X amount of time between 2 people using it too. And that, you know, there's lots of things
We got
you
it
can
set
do.
at 3 minutes or 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's something like,
Something like that.
yeah, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.5 or 3, and then they have to push it again, you know, and then it runs for that long.
But that maintenance operations fee, it just doesn't seem like it
Yeah,
jives.
that
with
was
the
my
usage.
main, I mean, that was one of the big things I wanted to talk to them about, but, you know, they just pretty much told me, hey, it's always been in there, you
Oh,
just
that's
see what
fine.
it is now.
And just for the record, we do not water the garden with
Yeah.
city water. It's
Right.
do a well. We dug outside.
If y'all would just look at it, and then if there's an appeal process, appeal it, and let them, you know,
Well, I have actually, in the last 2 months, had them make special trips out there after I would talk to them, and they were telling me what my readings was, to reread it and make sure that the original reading was correct. So far, they're saying everything is fine.
oh yeah,
Their readings are-
$22,000 a month, it'd be, yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
fine.
it'd be fine.
It was 11.
But the lucky thing that we are that they're not going back and back billing us.
Well, you know, that's part of their problem, because,
That's
Could you
all.
imagine?
well, the meter, when if it's malfunctioning, that's theirs to figure out. They ought to be able to sell it, you know.
Yeah, well, that, we just wanted to make everybody aware of
Right.
what's going on and what we've been trying to do to make sure that, you know, we're being treated fairly on the bill.
Well, and I knew, you know, since I give you the graphs every month, and you can see the graphs for the past 5 years, and then boom,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it jumps up, and you know, hey, what are y'all doing? It's causing it twice, so it's easier to explain it on the front end.
Well, there's 3 folks here that gotta remember, the other 3 of us don't have to
Yeah.
remember.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna remember, because that's my tax dollar.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Well, it's gonna be.
I may
hard
not be a
to-
commissioner, but I'm gonna be I'm still a taxpayer.
If it's right though, it's right. I mean,
Some things we just can't help.
Yeah, but to jump, the maintenance thing that high would be a red flag to me,
Yeah, it's $1,100 in 1 month.
you know.
But you
And-
have to take the sewer plus that maintenance and add those together
Add
and see
them
if
together
that
and see
percentage
if
has
it-
changed from the previous month's percentage.
Yeah.
And it did include it. They just separated it out in more detail.
Yeah, that's
But
just
you can
more
run the
detail.
spreadsheet
More detailed
and See
bill.
if there's any real change in that.
Okay.
Sewer, the sewer looks like it's about 1.5 times the water cost. So you can just see if that remains sort of constant, even though they've now split this out. We'll help them a little bit, create a few spreadsheets and for comparative data over the last 5 or 6 months.
All right. That all y'all got?
I believe that's it.
We have
Oh,
a
no, we got
handbook,
the handbook.
and
Oh.
so I've turned one in for her for the minutes, so just wanted to let you guys know that we're informing the committee we have a new handbook, so.
We just updated our handbook and
What was the big changes in it?
really nothing. It sets out anything that I can recall.
Just Coke did approve it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did have the attorney's office approve it, so.
But nothing really big.
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
one of those things we don't have a say so.
No, I
in.
just
It's kind of
inform
just
you.
like the property assessor came and did his
Right.
thing. We
Yeah.
don't have any say so of it other than.
Yeah.
But there's no changes in the fundamental benefit packages,
No,
of the treatment of that.
no, we thought about it, but no, we didn't.
No, I don't get 5 days a week off, sorry.
Okay.
All right, is that it?
That's it.
Y'all wasn't, I don't, if you were here, heard, but I really appreciate working with you all for the last 4 years. And,
I can say thank you to each and every one of y'all, everybody on the commission. I wasn't at the last committee, or full commission meeting, but it's really been a pleasure working with each and every one of y'all. I know we've had our struggles, but we've worked together on a lot of things, and I greatly appreciate that, through the good times and the bad times. So thank y'all, and thank y'all for everything you're doing, and those that are going on, good luck, and give me a call. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
I'm gonna hang out for the watermelon.
Okay.
Let's see, I think that,
We need a motion for his report.
yeah. Is there a motion on the report?
Move to approve the report.
Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Is any other business come before the committee?
Yeah. The drug court, we hadn't heard anything from them in a couple of months.
I think she was coming around meeting, I think it was quarterly, wasn't it, Mayor?
I don't remember that, but I will give you.
Can we at least get a hard copy in our boxes maybe, or
Yeah.
something like that? I mean, hey, when we come up for budget next time, just, they're gonna want money.
Right.
And,
But the best of my memory, I think she was coming back quarterly.
Is that it?
I think.
Okay.
I am a
I
little
will
bit.
confirm that, and
Okay.
your next, when you get your new committee appointments, we'll reestablish what the frequency should be.
Okay.
Anything else? Again, thank y'all. And Becky, thank you. You've done a great job as the secretary for the committee, and I appreciate you. We'll go back longer than I've been up here. All right, we stand adjourned. Thank y'all.
You're here?
Oh, man.